For thousands of years, humanity has done something remarkable. We transformed wolves into dogs, wild cattle into cows, boars into pigs, and untamed horses into loyal companions, workers, and transportation. Entire species were reshaped to fit into human society. Yet there's a fascinating detail that most people rarely consider. Nearly all of these domestication events happened thousands of years ago. That creates an interesting question. Have humans already domesticated every animal worth domesticating? Or could another species still become the next dog? Surprisingly, there may be a strong contender. If scientists were forced to predict the next animal humans could successfully domesticate, many would likely choose foxes. But before understanding why, it's important to understand what domestication actually means. Many people confuse taming with domestication, even though they're completely different. A tiger raised around people may become comfortable with humans. It might tolerate contact and even display affection. However, that doesn't mean tigers are domesticated. True domestication occurs when an entire species changes genetically over many generations through selective breeding. That process is incredibly difficult. Take zebras as an example. For centuries, humans have attempted to domesticate them. At first glance, they seem ideal. They're similar in size to horses, powerful enough to carry riders, and naturally live in groups. Yet, domesticated zebras are practically non-existent. The reason is that zebras are aggressive, unpredictable, and extremely difficult to breed selectively. The qualities that made horses useful simply aren't present in zebras. This reveals a larger truth. Most species fail the domestication test. Some are too aggressive, others are too fearful. Some refuse to reproduce in captivity, while others lack the social structures necessary to cooperate with humans. According to historian and biologist Jared Diamond, only a very small percent. If Diamond's argument is correct, humanity probably identified most of the obvious domestication candidates long ago, but perhaps not all of them. That brings us back to foxes. In 1959, Soviet geneticist Dmitry Belyaev began one of the most extraordinary experiments in modern science. His objective was surprisingly simple. He selected wild silver foxes and bred only the friendliest individuals. Nothing else mattered. Size didn't matter. Appearance didn't matter. Intelligence didn't matter. The only trait that counted was friendliness toward humans. Generation after generation, the tamest foxes were chosen to reproduce. What happened next amazed researchers. The foxes didn't merely become more sociable. They began changing physically as well. Their ears became floppy. Their tails started curling, and new coat colors appeared. Some even developed behaviors commonly associated with dogs. They sought out human attention, wagged their tails, and eagerly followed people around. Perhaps the most shocking part was the speed of these changes. The transformation occurred within only a few decades, an incredibly short period from an evolutionary perspective. The experiment uncovered something remarkable. When a species begins adapting to life alongside humans, behavioral changes are often accompanied by physical and biological changes. Temperament shifts, appearance evolves, and even underlying biological traits can change. This pattern closely resembles what scientists believe happened when wolves gradually evolved into dogs thousands of years ago. Because of these results, foxes are often viewed as the strongest candidate for future domestication. We've already proven that the process can work. However, there is a significant obstacle. Just because humans can domesticate foxes doesn't necessarily mean we will. Unlike our ancestors, modern society faces a different reality. We don't really need new domesticated animals. Throughout most of human history, domestication solved practical problems. Animals provided transportation, food, labor, security, and countless other services. Today, technology performs many of those functions more effectively than animals ever could. That raises an important question. If foxes became fully domesticated tomorrow, what role would they actually serve? The answer isn't obvious. This leads to a broader idea. Perhaps the next domesticated species won't be selected because it's useful. Maybe it will emerge because it naturally becomes compatible with human life. We've seen something similar before with cats. Contrary to popular belief, humans didn't intentionally create cats in the same way they created dogs. In many ways, cats domesticated themselves. When early agricultural societies began storing grain, mice appeared in large numbers. Those mice attracted wild cats. The arrangement benefited everyone involved. Cats gained an easy food source, while humans received free pest control. Over time, the friendliest cats thrived around human settlements. Gradually, both species adapted to each other's presence. Nobody deliberately decided to invent the house cat. The relationship developed naturally through mutual benefit. And perhaps that's exactly how future domestication will occur. Evolution never stopped. Animals continue adapting to human environments right now. Urban foxes have learned how to thrive in cities. Crows can recognize individual human faces. Some bird species have even figured out how to use traffic patterns to crack open hard nuts. Across the world, animals are adjusting to human civilization in ways that would